The film opens with an important and exclusive report that a pharmaceutical company is manufacturing harmful substances with numerous side effects, exploiting homeless people to illegally test their drugs on them. The police are investigating. We then see a young man emerge from underground. He was in the pharmaceutical company's lab. He looks strange and walks the streets, seemingly transformed into a zombie. He tries to scare children, who mistake him for a homeless person and bully him, throwing stones and saying, "There's the idiot." When he sees a dog, he decides to attack it, but he gives it a slap, saying, "Where am I going? I'm coming back," and runs off with the dog after him, even though it's a zombie, because it's afraid of him. The dog decided to run away. At the same time, we see Orkel, who is struggling financially and living in a remote area. He decides to make a plan. He puts nails in the road to cause car accidents. A man and his wife are crossing the road, and unluckily, they step on the nails and are about to fall off. Orkel intervenes, ensuring the car and its occupants, since they're the ones who will pay. He tows them to his workshop, fixes their car, and asks for $1,400. The man tells him it's too much and that it's not worth it. He only changed a tire and a front bumper. Orkel tells him it's not his problem and to talk to his wife, Maria, who comes over. Here is Maria, who says to him, "This is what we have. If you did not find the whole world, you would not find our uniforms or our prices, and this is not because our job is that there is no uniform or anything. No, we are just in an area, a far area, and there is no one here except us. Even the gasoline we do not know how to fix so that it will start again due to the lack of work and money, and the man makes their situation difficult for him and pays with my hand." To them, his wife says to him, "No, this is all in the cities. Here is cash, but I am living." She tells him, "Okay, leave the car and come and take it again while you have the money." "No, I will go home." "How can this happen? You are still saying that there is no car that passes from here, and the situation is difficult." She tells him, "This is what we have. If you don't like it, it's easy. Orkel will break it for you and ruin what is done. Then let's see how you'll get away with it." So the man gets scared and says, "What? You're a crazy family." He takes money from his wife, pays, and leaves. It becomes clear that Maria is the one running the household. She's trying to save a lot of money for the child she's carrying, and she always puts the money in a box and locks it. Orkel, as we know, is a man in his own home who doesn't even smell the money. At this time, we see Orkel's beautiful sister, Sun, who loves raising rabbits and considers them her friends, giving each one a name. Unfortunately, one of her rabbits dies, and she takes it to bury it. It seems she's affected and sad about it, but she gets used to it, and every day a rabbit dies. At that time, we see the old men of the neighborhood playing cards for money, including Abu Orkel. Their friend, who's about to get married, comes to show them a picture of his girlfriend. And if you want to know, dear viewer, what's holding him back all this time because of marriage, I'll tell you now. As we know, to get married, he needs money. He needs to be financially stable, and he's still working on that. See how easy and simple it is? You're watching the video and you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel yet, so give it a like and flood the video with your likes. Let me know in the comments what you want to say. I'll make all the movies and series you want for you, but most importantly, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. His friends congratulate him, but Abu Orkel doesn't get up because he's cheating at cards to win and collect money for Maria, the healer of everyone. At that moment, his friends catch him and immediately realize he's cheating. He runs out, noticing the dog that was chasing the zombies near the bathrooms, so he goes to keep them away from the bathrooms. Then he hears a strange noise. He goes in and finds the zombies have made a mess, but they haven't fully transformed yet, so he thinks they're homeless and starts hitting and bullying them. So the zombie gets angry at him and bites his head. He tells him, "I won't let go until I eat a piece of her." The zombie runs off, and on the way, he meets Sun. He bumps into her and keeps looking at her, obsessed with her beauty. He's never seen anything so beautiful before, and he falls in love with her at first sight. But then the dog comes and interrupts their romantic moment, chasing them both away. Sun then meets her brother, John, who has just returned from his trip. He opens his arms and says, "I missed you, sister. How are you?" She tells him, "This isn't the time to run on your feet before you get bitten." Then she tells him, "Look behind you, Pete." He sees the zombie coming and gets scared, running away, thinking it's the zombie that's scary. He doesn't realize that it's him. He's also scared and running from the dog. Asun falls, and John goes back to her, worried about her because of the zombies. They find Orkle coming, and on the road, he's sweeping through any team. He accidentally hits a zombie with his car and gets out, terrified, thinking he might have killed him, but he finds him fine and moving. Before they know anything, they hear the zombies barking at the dog and it runs again. Orkle is terrified and says, "What do I do if that vagrant comes back and wants compensation because I hit him? Maria might kill me then." His brother tells him, "We'll say another car hit him." AQL says, "I wish, but nobody in this whole poor village has a car except me." He tells him, "Don't worry, we'll frame him and say he was trying to harm him." Our sister tells him, "Shame on you. You turned out to be a real man in your own home, just like your brother. We are both strong men, and we'll hurt our sister because we are the ones in the wrong." At that moment, they hear a siren and think the homeless man called the police, but they find their father being brought in by ambulance. They ask him if he got beaten up as usual while playing cards after losing his money, but the paramedic tells him, "No, I wish. It was a dog that bit him on the head." The father gets angry and says, "That's not a dog, it's a homeless man. I'll get him and bite him like he bit us. I won't let this go, but I won't bite him on the head, I'll bite him on the cheeks." The father goes into his seclusion in Carnaval, where he lives alone. He keeps talking to himself and looking at pictures of the island. Huawei himself goes there and says, "This is the place I should go to relax. Sitting among old people brings worry and illness, but I'm still young. I need to live for a couple of days." He looks at his wife's picture and says to her, "I'll make your dream come true. I'll go to the island, but I still don't know its name. Is it Hawaii or Huawei? But don't worry, I'll go alone, even if you're dead, or even if you're already dead and left me early. It's okay, but don't worry, I'll still go. It's true you kept begging me a lot your whole life, but I didn't have any money back then. But now I have a lot of money. I don't know where it is, but it's with me. Don't worry." At that moment, he notices that his body is sweating profusely. The weather isn't hot at all. Sun is screaming and calling for him because she found the zombie in her rabbit hutch. They bring her back, turn on the light, and find him sitting holding vegetables and eating. Grandpa attacks him. He's the one who bit him and wants revenge. He has to get his due. Sun runs to call her siblings, and they all go. Their father hits the zombie with a wooden stick, breaking it on him. He gets scared for his father and attacks the zombie, knocking it against the wall. It goes into a metal bar, which finishes it off. That's how they committed the perfect crime. Then Joe, who is sitting sadly, reads the message he received on his phone. It tells him he's fired because he's useless. He arrives at the hutch. He doesn't care and says to them, "Hey guys, we caught a thief. Why are you shouting and making such a big deal out of it? What's all the fuss about?" Then he looks towards the zombie and says, "Oh my God. How? When? Who did this? I have nothing to do with it. I'll report it to the police. You must have done this, Dad." The zombie replies, "Me, you idiot? You want to hand over your father? Do you think I could kill someone? Call them and tell them your brother killed him." The zombie says, "So you don't want me to sell you and my brother out? It's fine. You're the one we inherited all our manhood from." They stand there surprised because, frankly, this doesn't look like the behavior of terrified people. Then they see the zombie sticking his body out of the metal cage, still alive, and they get even more terrified because there's no other way. They hit him, and a piece of iron hit him. They run out of the barn and hide. Their father tells them, "This is the one who bit me." Ackle says, "This is the one I hit this morning, and John died." John is surprised by what's going on and tells them, "Come with me." He explains that what happened means only one thing. This is a zombie, and anyone who bites it turns into a zombie. They remain afraid that it might bite one of them, unaware that their father has been bitten. He starts showing them videos of zombies biting humans, and they realize that their father has been bitten and could turn at any moment. So they let their father continue watching the videos, and they run away. Their father enjoys the horror movie, and Ackle the Jungle Boy is also enjoying himself until his brother calls him, and at that moment, John, unable to comprehend what's happening, asks his children, "What's going to happen to me?" He finds Mary confronting him with a pan, knocking him unconscious. He's then imprisoned in his own carnival. John goes to write a book, How to Survive a Zombie, and researches the topic to understand the danger they're facing. He explains to his siblings that their father is slowly transforming, and the zombie virus is still spreading slowly through his blood. Afterwards, unfortunately, he'll die and return to life, but his father will be asleep and will wake up normally. John also tells them that a zombie's favorite food is humans, and not just any part of a human, the brain, while their poor zombie is just sitting there eating cabbage normally. He's alone and doesn't care, so Orkel is scared and asks him, "So what should we do with your dad now?" John tells him, "We'll kill him." Orkel replies, "You're such a brat. You'd kill your own father." John says, "Yes, so he doesn't kill us when he turns into a zombie." Then we see their father wake up and find the carnival locked. He jumps off the roof, forgetting his old and going home to eat. Orkel asks him how he is, and Maria is holding a pan, ready for any treachery. Just as their father is about to speak, John from a parallel world hands him a bottle and hits him on the head. Raining blows down on him. Even if his own father came to eat his inheritance, he wouldn't do that. Orkel runs after him and kicks him out of the house before he can finish off his father, and then Sun goes. She checks on the zombie and leaves him the cabbage he loves to eat. She asks him his name, but he doesn't answer, so she hits him and says, "Didn't anyone teach you manners? Didn't they tell you to answer when someone speaks to you?" But he still ignores her, and she finally understands that he doesn't talk. You might ask why, dear viewer. Let me tell you his story. He's an orphan, and since he was little, he's been locked away in a secret laboratory his whole life. He doesn't interact with any humans. He was like a guinea pig for a pharmaceutical company. So Sun looks at her rabbit and sees the name of each one. She decides to give the zombie a creative name so she can call him whatever she wants, and she names him Zombuki. You might ask, what does Zombuki mean, dear viewer? I'll tell you, she named him that. I don't know what it means. What's with this strange name, Zombuki? She goes to get her brother's wife and brings him cabbage. When she finds him hungry and not stopping eating, her sister tells him, he's definitely a vegetarian and doesn't eat any humans, just like John said. But the thing is, at this rate, our whole cabbage crop will be gone. Maria tells her, "Can you leave us alone? I need to talk to you." She pulls out all his teeth so he'll stop eating, but he still won't bite anyone. She turns out to be a cruel woman with no mercy or humanity. Then we see Abu Batno go to his old friends after he's regained his youth. His energy has increased, and his health has returned, all because of the bite he received from a zombie. He finds the old groom holding on to him and saying to him, "Tell me the recipe you use, please. My wedding is in 2 days and I want to honor you all." So he tells them, "I've always been like this, guys. I've always been handsome and all the women are crazy about me." They tell him, "Look at yourself and you'll see you're even better than before." He's shocked by his handsomeness and strength. He immediately runs to our zombie, thanks him, and dances with him, saying, "You're the one who made me live. You're the bringer of good fortune and happiness to me. Because of your bite, I don't know what happened to me." Then he sees the old groom coming towards him and says, "See how much you want to make me young again? If you want me to take you to the Hawaiian Islands, I'll make your dream come true, but I need to be young like you and get married. Have some compassion for me, I'm suffering." Grandpa tells him, "Hey, gather the rest of the old men and get ready. I'll pack my bag while you all get here and bring me the money. I'll make you all young again." Grandpa goes inside to collect his swimsuits and takes a picture of his wife so he'll remember her and not cheat on her. He goes out, but is still a good old man. At that moment, he finds the old men have arrived and goes to see the zombie to make it grow bones too. He finds it's gone and looks like it escaped. We see that John has taken it and is running away with it, intending to sell it so people can use the energy it gives to the old men. He's driving at high speed, and unfortunately, Short has to stop him. But it turns out that Short is John's old friend. He asks him when he arrived and why he was speeding in the car. He replies, "Nothing. I've been here for 2 days and I was just testing the car's speed." The officer says, "But you're riding in a tow truck." He replies, "Well, I was testing its speed too. It's normal. You know what's going on." So the officer leaves him and walks away, saying, "Let's just see you." As they're walking, the policeman hears the zombie's voice in the box and finds him tied up and kidnapped. The police take them both to the police station immediately and file a report for John. He doesn't want to tell anyone the truth about the zombie so no one else can exploit him except them. But things are getting serious and he looks like he's going to be arrested. So he decides to tell them that he's not human, that he's a zombie. The police get angry at him, thinking he's drunk. The police chief tells him to write him a ticket for driving under the influence. He finds himself in even more trouble than before, but thankfully his father arrives with his brother's wife and his sister, who's running after a zombie. The father says, "I'm here too, because my son is a zombie," or what did you name him, Jason's daughter? Anyway, he's been my son since he was little, and I've raised him away from people, or rather, away from them, because he doesn't talk. At that moment, his son John asks him, "Are you okay? Did he bite your head?" "Yes, but not that bad." His father tells him, "Mind your own business and leave our family alone. You're a useless person who wants to hurt your little brother. Come on, my love, come on, Zombuki, you come on, my love." But before he leaves, the shorts take his fingerprints. When the shorts investigate the matter, they find out that the zombie has no fingerprints, no ID, and isn't even registered in the police database. So the officer tells him that this is normal in the remote village and among farmers, especially if the son is sick or has any disability. But his boss tells him to report the matter so that if there's a problem, it will be far from us. When the family returns home, each one thinks about how to sell the zombie services to people and collect money. Their father wants to take the money and travel. John wants to return to America and open a company. Maria wants to fix the gas station, and he was. They know he's a man in his own home, but his brother yells at him and slaps him. "Servants, whatever you want, my dear." Except for their father, who tells them, "You are my children, and I could never forget you. We have to forget ourselves and think about the baby we are expecting. We have to listen to Maria and get the gas station running again so we have a good income to support the baby." They all agree on this idea, forgetting the most important thing, that they won't be able to benefit from it. This is what Sun discovers when she puts ketchup on the cabbage. The zombie thinks he likes ketchup like she does, which is why he wasn't eating. But she discovers his teeth are missing, so she goes out and yells at them, asking who did this to the zombie. At that time, they are afraid of her because she is crazy. She might take their teeth and give them to him, and the father sits crying as he sees his dreams vanish before his eyes, and the money he will lose because he was counting on biting all those old people and then traveling. He hears the voices of the old people outside, so he gets an idea. He goes out and calls for the old turtle, who they call that because he is slow. He takes his set of teeth, gives it to the zombie, and it works again and is back to normal. He tells it to bite, but it doesn't agree. So he puts ketchup in it and makes it bite the old groom first, and then the turtle, and they all become young again. All the old people regain their energy and become stronger than their children, and they're working on everything again. And of course, our family is collecting a respectable sum of money which they give to Maria to add to the money she saved so she can start the gas station. But the father steals the money and decides to travel to his island in Hawaii to spend his vacation and enjoy his youth. Before he leaves, Maria wakes up screaming at the sight, which only makes matters worse. John kidnaps the zombie and wants to use it for himself. He finds his brother's wife in front of him, and she tells him, "I think I'll kill this whole family and take my revenge on you because I'm going crazy." A man in his own home, who has nothing to do with it, sits smoking a cigarette and calls them crazy while he's the epitome of sanity. Yes, dear viewer, he has nothing to do with it. As for what's happening, Sun takes the zombie to the cabbage patch so he can eat it in peace. She tries to get him to say her name, but he doesn't respond and keeps eating. So she takes the food so he'll chase after her and play with her. She tells him she won't give it to him unless he says her name. He tries to catch her and falls on top of her. He keeps looking at her, his eyes turning into hearts, and she's embarrassed. But as usual, someone has to ruin the moment. This time it's Orkel. He kicks him, sending him flying. They move away from her, and she thinks he's going to bite her. He then threatens him with a cabbage, insults him, and tells him to leave and stay away from his sister, who he'll smash his head with. All the zombie is thinking about is hitting him with the cabbage again so he can take it from him. He eats it, but at that moment Sun calls to her brother and tells him to look over there. He sees the old people and their children heading towards their house. This is after they find out that they took money from their parents, and the children are coming to take the money from them by any means. He runs quickly to warn his brother before they reach the house, telling him, "We are in trouble. Hide. We are going to die, you crazy fool. Go inside." They all enter the house and pretend they aren't there. Their sister brought the zombie with her, but he refuses to keep quiet and exposes them. The people below are furious and keep saying, Open up. We know you're here. They are terrified until one of them says, "We also want to be bitten like our parents. Take whatever you want." So they go out and start selling zombie bites to the villagers. Ogun is standing there putting ketchup on it so he can taste it better. The villagers bring people from the neighboring village, and everyone brings their loved ones. The absent ones tell others and share, and those who aren't following should follow and activate the bell in case there's an update. Maybe when the zombies mess up next time, they'll learn to fly or something. My dear viewer, and you, my friend, without a bite or anything, will you like this, or should I bring you zombies? Let's be polite and respectful. I love you, and you love me, so let's give a nice like to the Movies Room channel, subscribe, activate the notification bell, and let's continue. Let's go back to our family, who are now, they became rich after the zombies bit everyone except them. They collected good money and finally renovated the gas station. Sun started taking care of the zombies too. She brought them her father's carnival and put them in the barn so they could rest instead of sleeping on the ground. John got them a new set of teeth as a gift. Then Sun took them and gave them a proper makeover, and she gave them a complete 360-degree makeover. They became handsome young men, even more so than her. Girls see them and flirt with them and make fun of Sun for dating someone like them. So Sun gets jealous and makes them eat wildly in front of them so they can see how they look after eating and be disgusted and leave them alone. Afterwards, they all take pictures together and consider them one of the family sits and eats together, acting as if he were a normal human being, and they try to let him drink lemon juice, but his wife yells at him, telling him, "This is still a young child, and I don't see his innocent features." How do they find Sun, who is not with them and eating a zombie in a bug? They are afraid that he might bite her or anything, but they find that her cheeks are red, not realizing that her eyes are showing hearts on her face, so they are covered. That's why she is covered. Or what? And Sun stays with the zombies after that and hears her brother John talking on the phone, and he says to him, "Someone has money for me and I will bring you the zombie. You should examine him and find out what ability he has. I am sure that he is not human and not a zombie because he does not feed on their minds. He eats cabbage with ketchup." So Sun repeatedly protects the zombie, and the next day she takes him with her and opens her heart to him. She tells him that there is a relationship with him among the people of the village, the killer of her mother, because my mother died giving birth to me, and I feel guilty, but I had to live for my family. So the zombie approaches her, blowing a leaf off her and looking at her in the eyes. She tells him, "I am happy that I met a good person like you, for I am dead. You have your clothes and your cabbage in the bag, and that's it. You no longer have to live in the middle of us. Run away and see where you are going." He tries to walk after her and tells her, "You're not allowed to leave me alone." She says to him, "No, it's enough. Don't hurt me." She leaves him alone because she's sad because she's afraid for him from her brother, and she hopes he'll meet people. It's okay, but unfortunately, John is looking for him until he finds him standing in shock in the place where Sun left him. He's a lonely child who lost his mother, and for him, she was everything. They take him and go to the station to travel. They go to get something to drink, but then the shock happens. We see blood on the refrigerator, and the man in the market has his hand burned. John doesn't notice what's happening, but when he returns to zombie, he finds that most of the place has turned into zombies. And not like real zombies, dear viewer. These zombies bite people and turn them into zombies in a second, but these are the zombies that actually eat human brains. At the same time, there's joy for the old man. He's getting married and entering a new life after a long wait. As we know, everyone in the place starts sweating. You might ask why he's turning into a zombie, but the old man is finally going to enter the world and achieve the dream he's been waiting for since the beginning of the movie. He's getting close to the bride and intends to give her a taste of raisins, but it seems she's running away from him, and he ends up tasting her. He literally turns her along with him, and all his friends are biting most of the people in the place. Because of this, the situation gets out of control. The world is going to hell everywhere. We find a zombie going towards Sun, so she runs away from him. He keeps getting closer to her, and she still doesn't know what's happening. She goes to Orkul, who is trying to talk to his friend. He tells him, "You, Malik, you look like a homeless person. Why are you so disheveled? Did someone scam you or something?" But the zombie is attacking him. Maria, who has the pan in her hand, is giving it to him. "By God, why did you do that to me?" she asks. He replies, "I don't know, but I felt him attacking me, and his appearance didn't sit well with me. I couldn't leave him alone, so I gave it to him." Then the police arrive. They see what happened. His house is in disarray because he attacked his friend and killed him. They also find out that John is accused of kidnapping a zombie and intended to kill him. They ask, "Who is this zombie?" They say, "Zombuki, I mean, the one who's related to you. Or did you say he was your brother?" But it turns out he wasn't. Suddenly, they find that it's your friend, who's also standing there, not dead. The shorts tell him, "Come with me and stay away from these people. They are criminals. I'll arrest them and take you to the hospital. It's good you're alive. Your nose is hurt." When the police notice him giving them a strange look, he becomes muscular and tries to become a zombie too. Our family is terrified by the sight and sees many zombies coming towards them. They run into their house, lock the door, and go to Orkel to close the windows. He finds a zombie in front of him, but he refuses to hit it because it's his friend from school. He tries to think for himself. Maria tells him, "Is this the time? We are dying. Kill it and be done with it." He refuses to hit his friend, so Maria comes and hits him hard, breaking his face. They go upstairs, close the curtains, and block the stairs with everything they have. Now their dream is that the zombies won't. You see one of them getting the book John wrote, How to Survive the Zombies, and putting on jackets and hats, preparing for war. It seems their plan to win is that the zombies will die laughing at their appearance. Orkel asks, "Where's my brother?" And Son asks, "Where are the zombies?" We find John still at the bus station, hiding under a bus, calling the city's rescue service. They think he's joking and hang up on him, but they call again. He throws the phone away so the zombies gather at the sound, then sneaks out from behind them. He gets in his car and drives down the road, doing donuts and running over anyone he encounters. At the same time, his police friend discovers that the zombie is hiding. He keeps getting closer and says, "Go back, you don't know who I am." The zombie asks, "What, a mechanic or something?"
Please. No, I'm a cop.
"Go back, sir." The zombie says, "No, never mind. If you're a cop, I'll give you a good bite." John wants to go and rescue his family, who, at that time, knew that no one had heard about them in the news or even in the dish of the day. You might ask, what's the dish of the day, my friend? I'll tell you, it's the news of the day, but here in our city, it's called the dish of the day because if someone doesn't know anything about it, then all the zombies are coming for them. So they escaped through the window, jumped over the barn, and then, at the carnival, Akali entered with his wife and sister from the carnival roof. Thankfully, a ray of light reached John, who had come to save his family. He intended to take revenge on the zombies and become a useful person in life. He brought fireworks to kill the zombies. He lit the fireworks and told them, "Whoever is on the way, I'll run them over." So they kicked him and said, "Stop! You're crazy, you idiot! Stop! We are at a gas station. We are the ones who will get burned, you idiot." When he realized what was happening, he went to turn off the fireworks and found that the car had already caught fire. He got out and ran to his brother. The zombies gathered around the car and lit the fireworks in the trunk, shooting into the sky, creating a truly dazzling sight. John and his brother, they sit and enjoy the beautiful view with the zombies, but it seems, dear viewer, that because of these fireworks, zombies from all over the world gather around them, and our family gets crammed into the carnival. O'Callum sits down and says to him, "John, I was wrong to come and save you. I should have left you alone." Son tells him, "You're right, because you're useless, honestly. Besides, you're a man in your own home, and you got all your manhood from your grandfather. Why did you write your own book, How to Survive Zombies, knowing that the zombies are supposed to be attracted by light and sound?" He tells her, "I wrote it, but I didn't study it, so I don't remember. Anyway, what are we going to do?" She says to him, "You're asking me? You're the man." They act before they can even think straight. They find Maria giving birth. He tells her, "Is this the right time?" She replies, "I was in the mood. I was just sitting around and I thought, let's give birth now." Then John finally gets a useful idea. They pull the carnival out with their crane and leave the place. He takes his brother outside. He tells John that zombies rely on smelling as long as there's no sound or light source, so he got Zombuki's clothes. He's a zombie, so they won't smell anything because he'll think they're zombies too. Anyway, he says, "Good idea. Now take care of yourself." John gives him the clothes and says, "You're the father of the child. Go out and save your son." He replies, "No, you're the uncle of the child. If you're not going to raise him, I'll raise him." The father tells him, "Don't be afraid, you die, and I'll raise him and be responsible for him." He says, "So you don't want me to see my son?" He tells him, "If you go back down the stairs, you'll see him. Don't be afraid." Then son comes and yells at them, saying, "Should we solve your problem or his? He'll solve our problems, and we'll say goodbye to my problems. You two go out together, and I'll protect the place. Don't be afraid, and if you die, I'll tell them that your father and uncle died heroes." And indeed, the two of them go out and pass through the middle of the zombies, who don't smell them until they reach the car. They can't find the key, so they start looking for it. They turn on the car's lights. It's a big mistake. You shouldn't have done anything. Of course, the zombies gather around them, and the two of them start blaming each other as usual. Oming will sacrifice himself to go down and get the key, but they're scared because there are so many zombies around them. So their sister comes out to protect them. She turns on the chainsaw, and anything that comes in her path gets cut to pieces. But there are so many zombies, and because of that, they can't overcome them. They knock her down, and then Zombuki appears and protects her. They keep looking at each other with loving glances. Meanwhile, someone is sitting on a short circuit, I don't know, and he gets electrocuted. Everything around them starts exploding because of the electricity. The zombies are happy and throw a small party, inviting all their friends and siblings. Whoever comes wins, and whoever doesn't, Josh, will sell it for free. And give me the best greetings to the movie's room army. Come on, zombie, dance some more. He was remembering that he forgot the key while changing his clothes, so he tells his brother, "Okay, go get it now." So he goes down, but the condition is that his body is already depleted and the party is over. And may we always come to your weddings. Because of that, they hear Orkel's voice and run towards him, but his son saves him and is born, screaming a cry of life. So all the zombies go to the carnival. He says to them, "My son, no," and finally acts tough and attacks the zombies. Then the other coward calls out to him, "The key, Gabby. We'll all die." Orkel says, "Okay," and goes up to get the key. He finds many zombies and attacks them. One finds another, then another, and the number never ends. Despite this, he manages to reach the key. The zombies gather around him, so he gets out of the window and throws it. At that moment, his brother catches him and starts telling him to take care of his son, to raise him well, or to leave him to son to raise because she knows how. He says, "You don't know how to raise anyone." He pulls the zombie away in front of his brother, and they're about to turn him. John is sad for him and starts crying, and blood comes out of him. At that moment, we see Sun saving her brother's wife before the zombies reach her. She pulls the zombie by the mouth, finishing it off, and goes to stand in front of them to stop them from entering the carnival. She grabs a saw and protects Zombuki, who is standing behind her, not believing her courage. She's worried about him and tries to defend NOM until they overwhelm her. John starts the car's engine, so she gets on the carnival and tries to take Zombuki with her. But Zombuki decides to do the right thing. This time, he defends her and takes her into the carnival. He stands in front of her, protecting her from the zombies so they don't follow her in. He refuses to go in with her. John comes out in the car and finds his brother, Orca, has returned and managed to escape the zombies because of his thick clothing. Orca tells him, "No one bit me." John, without thinking, speeds up. They leave Zombuki behind, and she keeps calling after him, upset. Zombuki stands there, sad that she left without him for the second time. He looks at her picture and for the first time speaks. He calls her by her name, but it doesn't work out. He says her name, then calls her son. He calls her by her voice, and all the zombies go to him. They gather around him, intending to finish him off. He has a genie with him, and he sets the place next to him on fire and makes an explosion that drives the zombies away. They keep walking until they reach a tunnel. There, John stops to rest. He looks at his brother and finds that he has turned into a zombie. He locks the car on him and gets out. He gets bitten and gets out. Maria and Son get out, and they hear a sound coming from the tunnel. John prepares to kill him, but it's his father. The father is shocked to see Huckle in this state, and Son is surprised that her father was the first person to be bitten and didn't turn. They are all afraid. They go back to Laura, and John takes advantage of the opportunity, raising his weapon. You can tell it's his wish to kill him. Then they hear on the news that the country is in a state of emergency and that their only hope is the people who were infected with the zombie virus and survived. These people have immunity, and we have to take the vaccine from them to treat the rest of the people. John hugs his father and says, "Finally, Dad, you're useful now. You'll be the world's hope for survival." He says, "Brother, don't worry, you'll be okay again." 6 months pass, and we find destruction everywhere. Our family goes everywhere, and they've dedicated their car to treating the zombie virus. He's recovered, and Zombok is cured. He's good and talking, and everything's great. Son is the one who organizes the zombies into a line, and anyone who moves with the chainsaw gets cut down. They gather the zombies in certain places, but those who need treatment are treated by the father, who uses bites to cure them. He bites all the people who have been transformed, and every zombie returns to its original human form as soon as the father bites it. They keep going around the whole country, biting every zombie to make them go back to how they were. And that's the end of the story for our family. So don't forget to like and subscribe, my dear. And a big hello to you.